Oh, what we're studying? Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, like, I remember talking about it, I just couldn't figure out how to do it. I remember.
I think we talked about doing this a little bit even in science last year. Yes. Yep. Okay, so solving proportions, 287. That's good. Yep, you can go ahead and move on to math. Okay, so our new vocab words for pre-algebra, page 287. We have proportions and cross products. Cross products. I love cross products because they're actually not bad at all, especially once you get the hang of how they work. So a proportion is an equation starting, or an equation stating that two ratios are not equal. You can use the multiplication property of equality to illustrate an important property of proportions. So that's where something will say, if you have 4 over 3 equals 1 over 3, we know that those proportions are not equal. If we had 2 over 4 equals 1 over 2, that proportion would be equal. So that's where we get into cross products. That's where we get into cross products, is when we have two products that are not equal. So the cross products, 4 times 4 and 8 times 2, and AD and CB are called cross products. So what they're saying right there is we have A over B equals C over D. So this is their equation that they give for cross products. So they're just using letters representing numbers in this case. If you like using numbers, they gave the example of 4 over 2 equals 8 over 4, which is kind of the example I gave of 2 over 4 equals 1 over 2. So this is just stating that if you take 4 times 4, that's going to equal 16. And then 8 times 2, that's also going to equal 16. So those two proportions would be equal to each other. That's the same thing what we're doing here. So you would take A times D. So we would have AD here on the left side, and on the right side, we'd have B times C. So it would say A times D equals B times C, okay? You guys remember doing that a little bit last year? Slightly? Logan, you remember doing this a little bit, cross products? Okay. All right, so let's try some more examples here. So solving proportions. So example 1, letter A. Example 1, letter A. So I have B over 15 equals 66, oh great, over 90. For these ones, yeah, especially these, you guys are gonna have, yep, there is decimals in yours. So yeah, definitely. So I mainly want you guys to learn how to do the process more than the multiplication and division with these. So what we're gonna do is B times 90, which would be 90B, and then 66 times 15, which is gonna be 990. And I looked in the book, I don't know that off the top of my head. And then we would do 990 divided by 90. How did I do that? I'm just trying to get B by itself on both sides. So 90 would now be gone. And on the left side, I would be left with just B, which equals 990 divided by 90, which is just going to equal 11, because I can just get rid of those zeros. That one's an easier one to do in our heads. So 99 divided by 9, which is just 11. So B would equal 11. This is going to be very common with these type of problems, because normally you're going to be trying to find an unknown variable, which in this case was B. So trying to solve for the unknown variable to make it true, to make them equal to each other. Okay. So those of you who are in a different math class, remember your math is listed on the homework sheet I just gave you. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. We're only doing 2 lessons this week. As I just said, we're doing study guide Wednesday and then quiz on Thursday. So you're doing only 2 new lessons this week. I did have study guide day today and then quiz tomorrow, but instead I changed it because I figured you guys would like to have more time to do your lesson 36 and 37. So you'd have 4 full days to do all that rather than it just being due on Thursday. Yeah, Aries? Okay, Madeline?
It says Monday, and then it says Thursday.
Oh.
Oh, Tuesday.
Does it say Tuesday? Okay.
I read it wrong.
Because at first I did have it like that, so I might have made a typo, but okay, that's good. All right, so real world example, example 2 on page 288. Okay, so using proportions to solve problems. Amusement parks. The wait time to ride a roller coaster is 20 minutes. 20 minutes. When 160 people are in line. So 160 people. So that's one of my proportions because they are in the same sentence is one way of thinking about it. At this rate, how long is the wait time when 220 people are in line? So where would 220 people be? Would it be in my numerator or denominator in this proportion? Helen? In the numerator, so you're thinking up here? Sure? Not anymore. So it's not going to be in the numerator, and the reason is because we want the people to both be on the bottom. To cross cancel, yeah. That's why I figured you're thinking that. So for proportions, it's a little bit different. We want the same to be on the bottom. That's because we are using cross product here. So we're saying people over minutes equals people over minutes. I know that's a little bit confusing. So we are solving for the missing value of, I'm going to say M because it's minutes. So what we're going to do is 20 times 220, which is going to be 4,400. Oh, goody, such a big number, which then equals, let's see, I have M times 160, which is going to be 160 M. Oh, these ones aren't too bad because now you can take 4,400 divided by 160. If I get rid of one of my zeros here, one of my zeros there, I'm going to have just 440 divided by 16. Move my face. So 16 goes into 44. Was that 3 times? No, it is just 2 times. So it's going to be 32. I'm going to be left with 14. Oh boy, 16 goes in 140. That's 7 times. So 7 times that is going to be 2, 4. 7 goes into that. 7 plus another 4 is 11. So 0 minus 2 is 8, so that's 2. So 28 would be my remainder. Wow. So that's why I'm letting you use a calculator for these, because it's going to take you longer just to do the multiplication and division. So the answer ends up coming out to 27.5. Because I'm trying to teach you the process here, not the actual multiplication and division process. You guys have done that enough already. Yep. So 27.5 will equal the number of minutes. I forgot about that part. 27.5 minutes. So remember, guys, make sure you're putting those units when it is applicable. Okay. Because I think you guys, yep, you do have some that are just like that. All right, let's finish off with example 3 and we'll be done taking notes. William, did you have a question?
Yeah, are we supposed to do a lesson review on
Lesson review on page 115.
or lesson 3?
No, I think I had you skip that one.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm having you skip that one. Oh, well, you get extra kudos.
I did, I thought you messed up.
No, I didn't. Because I gave you the worksheet is worksheet 3.1.1. I do mess up a lot. You are correct there.
It's not, I am so tired. I woke up so well in the morning. I had a headache in the morning.
I am a human. I mess up all the time. Okay, example 3, which is on page 289. So use proportion to solve problems. Okay, so Mrs. Oh boy, Hidalgo paid $30. Hidalgo for 4 students. 4 students. I'm just going to put 4 studs to visit the art museum. Find the cost for 20 students. So equals, where's 20 students going to go, Logan? Is it going to go in my numerator or denominator? Denominator, yep. So 20 studs will be over here. How much is that going to cost? Well, I'm just going to find what my hidden value is there for x. So 30 times 20, which is going to be 600. And then x times 4, which is just going to be 4x. So now I have 600, which equals x. So to get x by itself, we're going to divide by 4 to both sides. So 600 divided by 4, which is just going to give me $150 for 20 studs. $150 for 20 studs. I amuse myself sometimes. All right. So pre-algebra, you feel okay about proportions? Yes. Helen? Yeah. Logan? Yeah. Okay. So guys, continue on with your homework there. And if you have any questions, circle them, and I will be able to help on Wednesday for sure. Wednesday will be the day that I can help. Remember, all this math and all this science is not due until Thursday. Okay. So let's start with 6-5 next. So Evan, Ian, you guys are up. Ian, you ready?